Boyd, Mads, I'll throw this first question to you because one of my favorite things about Indiana Jones movies is seeing familiar elements and ideas come back. So when you're playing an indie villain, is there anything you've seen in a past indie bad guy that you wanted to hold tight to? But then I also want the opposite, something that made your characters uniquely your own.
Oh gosh, I mean they're not too kooky. They're not too twist the mustache. Yeah.
There's like a framework in the Indiana Jones where there's parameters fairly wide. You can stretch that. You've seen that before, but there's also a reality sense that you have to be honest to. It's very hard to put a finger on, but you know what it is when you see it. It's like this belongs or this doesn't belong, right? But we can't put a finger on it.
Something about it. Whenever I turn on one of these movies and it has those qualities, feels like I'm coming home. There's like an inherent warmth in it, and I love it. Shaunette, for you, if I had my choice and I could have a prequel to this movie, I would want Agent Mason's story. Is there any backstory detail you came up with on your own for her that maybe we don't see or hear about in the movie, but we could feel informing your performance and the choices she makes?
Yeah, I think the fact that she's this young Black woman, that she was able to kind of blend in a little bit with the younger community in New York, especially as she has this edge. Maybe she was recruited to do a little bit of a COINTELPRO or something, but then got assigned to this situation, and maybe is initially already frustrated with that and the lack of respect that she's been able to glean from these guys, knowing that there's a lot of tension with the ideology and racism and all these things. So that was just got a little bit of something that I put in there for myself.
I get mighty obsessed with backstory. I would very much like to see that backstory on screen. I know you were on the set of Black Panther, but was there anything about jumping into a big franchise film in a more significant role like this that, I don't know, made you stand there and go like, my God, I can't believe this is what it takes to bring a character like this to screen in a big franchise movie like this?
Oh yeah, I mean the journey was incredible, just from the fittings and the fine tuning of this jacket as opposed to that jacket, and the length of hair in this way, or the fro being a little bit longer, and then getting to my first day on set, and it was out in Glasgow, and exterior just a big sweeping. I mean the fact that they were able to turn Glasgow into New York 1969 was just wonderful. I feel like this is just so many incredibly talented people involved in this process, and all I have to do is just like kind of walk here, say this line, ignore this guy, flip open a little pad, and you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, this is
not that hard.
It's insane, but it's just that so much work has gone into these intimate moments in the relationship with these characters. So yeah, it was surreal for sure.
I'll throw that question to both of you now as well, because you just brought up tiny details and the importance of them. Is there any teeny tiny detail, whether it's something in the production design, costume design, or personal choice you made that, might not be front and center in a frame, but you knew was really important to filling out this world?
Yeah, well, I was kind of, Jim said I didn't want to offend me, but I have a role for you, and read it and then we'll talk. And then I read it and I was like, man, I'm the bad guy. It sucks. I want to be the good guy, but you have to make these characters work. And on the screen, my character's he's a lapdog to Mess's character, and that may seem very simple, but to me, I'm trying to wrap my head around why would a guy be affiliated with this party, and then just going in deeper and finding out, well, he's not really accepted in anywhere, and this is really the only club or tribe that will accept him. So going not so much with the ideology, but just more of the acceptance. And that's my loyalty to Mess's character. And I think that's what kept me in him.
Didn't expect to get a heartbreaking backstory for him.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, a lot of therapy after this.
How about for you, Mads?
Lost boy. And
working with this guy.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that you do, and it might not end up, but it might just be in the back of your head when you do it. I mean, I think I was trying to make this character nervous to a degree when he was not the boss of the room. And the second he was the boss of the room, he wasn't nervous at all. So just go back and forth with that and see how that played out. So like a man who wasn't completely secure all the time. I'm not sure it comes across, but that's right.
I thought I felt it. All right, for all three of you now, I was watching the press conference you did at Cannes, and something that Harrison had brought up really caught my ear. He was emphasizing that all the actors on this set gave more to each other than he had ever really seen before. So can you each pinpoint a time when another cast member gave to you when you needed it most?
It was my birthday on set, and Phoebe got me a cake. And a little card, she plays with the deck of cards in the film, and it gave me a little card. I think it's the Queen of Hearts, and a drawing illustration of my character. And it was wonderful. Like, when you have to work on your birthday, it can be a kind of love-hate relationship where you're like, I'm in all day and I'm at work. I would rather be whatever. But I think everyone, crew as well, just decorating, it was just really lovely. And again, Phoebe with the cake and everything. So I really felt like, I was being celebrated and I was touching.
That's such a nice thing to have. How about that? Have it for you too?
Well, I'll throw it right to you. So, can we spoiler alert? There's a scene.
I will put up a spoiler alert.
Where she kind of doesn't make it out of their life. Sorry about that. Anyways, so you shoot that again and again and again, right? And then camera eventually turns around and it's my turn. And this is what it's all about, that you're still doing the same thing. You're still acting out. You're still, throwing that disbelief towards me every time. Mm-hmm. And this is what we want from each other. It's not always the case, but I think we did it 20 times. And you kept going there with cheering up in your eyes, even though you were off screen. This is what it's all about.
Can you top that, Boyd?
I don't know if I could top that. Just the memory of, Harrison welcoming, being truly felt like you're welcome here. We love what you do. You're as important as we are. I think that just makes a really good place to make good work. And Harrison has always shown that he's not the star who's on his trailer all the time. He's just like your dad hanging out. He's just there.
I'm a big believer good vibes like that radiate off screen in the final product. Yep. And I think they do here. Congratulations on the movie.